Let's be honest for a moment. Most people think that if they just follow a plan for 90 days, wake up early, exercise, meditate, or start working on a goal, life will magically transform. But reality is rarely that clean or simple. The real obstacles aren't in the plan itself. They're invisible, quiet, and built into the way our lives, minds, and environment function. They creep in slowly, day by day, and by the time you notice them, weeks have passed, motivation has drained, and you wonder why your best efforts haven't made a dent. You wake up on day one, fired up, telling yourself, this is it. This is my 90-day reset. And you write out plans, dream big, and feel unstoppable. But then, before you even get out of bed, the old thoughts start creeping in. What if I fail? Maybe tomorrow will be better. I don't have enough time today. Those thoughts feel small, harmless, almost logical, but over the course of a day, they pile up. By the time evening comes, the excitement from the morning is replaced by fatigue, self-doubt, and that familiar voice that whispers, you'll never stick to this. This is not laziness. It's your brain protecting itself from discomfort. It's the same brain that survived years of habits, routines, and stress, now resisting the very change you want most. And here's the part nobody likes to admit. By week 2, life shows up like an uninvited guest. You plan to crush your morning workout, but suddenly your alarm clock feels like it weighs 400 pounds. You tell yourself 5 more minutes won't hurt. Next thing you know, it's not 5 minutes, it's 50. Breakfast is skipped, traffic is worse, your boss is breathing down your neck, and by evening, that glowing 90-day plan looks like something you scribbled in a dream. And here's the kicker. You don't throw it away. No, you keep it taped to the wall like a motivational poster, just staring at you every time you walk by, silently judging you like it knows your secrets. You sit down to work on your goals, but your phone buzzes. One notification turns into just checking Instagram for a minute. 30 minutes later, you've scrolled through dog videos, 5 celebrity scandals, and a cooking reel for a dish you'll never actually make. By the time you snap out of it, the only thing you've mastered is the art of wasting time with Olympic-level precision. It's not about laziness or weakness. It's about the invisible systems we live in every day. Your environment, your routines, your hidden habits. They don't scream at you. They whisper, and those whispers, those tiny little excuses, pile up until they become the loudest voice in the room. And if you've ever wondered why even your strongest "I'll start fresh on Monday" plans collapse by Wednesday, it's because the enemy isn't your willpower. It's friction. It's the small barriers stacked around you. The friend who texts you to just chill for one night. The couch that looks way more inviting than your laptop. The fridge stocked with quick comfort instead of fuel. Change doesn't fail because of big crashes. It fails because of thousands of little nudges pulling you back to who you were yesterday. And the funny thing, most of us blame ourselves. We think we're broken, undisciplined, or not made for this. But really, it's like trying to swim upstream while the current is dragging you back. The current isn't personal, it's just strong. And unless you see it for what it is, you'll keep calling yourself lazy, when in reality, you're fighting a system designed to keep you the same. And here's truth. Transformation isn't just about planning or discipline. It's about how much fuel you have to act consistently. Life has a way of stacking stress, emotional clutter, and fatigue over years without us noticing. Maybe your mornings are already filled with tasks that drain your mental energy, emails, family responsibilities, errands, work pressure. And when you finally sit down to work on your goals, you're already mentally exhausted. Even small actions feel heavy. You want to meditate or write or create, but your body and mind are screaming for rest. The harder you push, the heavier it feels. And over time, this invisible drain doesn't just slow progress, it makes you doubt yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm just not capable of doing this. And sometimes it's not even about big problems. It's the little ones, like your phone buzzing every 2 minutes with urgent notifications that somehow never feel urgent, or the random stress of trying to decide what to eat when you're too tired to even be hungry. It's that low-key exhaustion that makes scrolling Instagram feel easier than actually doing the thing you said you'd do. Even when you're resting, you're not really resting. You're lying there thinking about all the things you should be doing, which of course makes you feel even more drained. It's like paying interest on stress you didn't even borrow. This is the hidden tax nobody talks about. The quiet weight that builds up in the background. And unless you notice it, you'll keep pushing against it like running on a treadmill that's secretly tilted uphill. At first, you tell yourself, I just need to try harder. But deep down, you know it's not about trying harder. It's about carrying less. Friends, family, colleagues, and the social cues you're surrounded by every day quietly shape what you think is possible. Imagine trying to build a new habit or start a business while everyone around you dismisses ambition, complains about money, or mocks attempts to grow. Every time you hear those comments, every shared story of failure or risk, it chips away at confidence. You might even start questioning your own goals, thinking maybe they're unrealistic or selfish. And because the influence is subtle, you don't even notice it. You assume you're acting freely, but every decision you make is being nudged by the world around you, slowly keeping you small. It doesn't show up as someone flat out telling you, don't try. No, it's more like death by 1,000 tiny cuts. A sarcastic laugh when you share an idea, that little eyebrow raise when you talk about investing, or the classic, be realistic, which really means stay where I'm comfortable seeing you. Even social media plays into it. You scroll and see highlight reels of other people, and suddenly your goals don't look bold anymore. They look foolish. It's like trying to climb a mountain while a crowd keeps pulling at your backpack saying, come back down, it's safer here. People aren't trying to sabotage you. They're just projecting their own fears, their own ceilings. But if you're not careful, you absorb them like secondhand smoke. And before you know it, you're living a smaller version of your life. Not because you chose it, but because you inhaled too much of someone else's doubt. That's why the most dangerous prisons are the ones you don't even realize you're in. When people commit to a 90-day transformation, they expect dramatic results fast. But real change isn't linear. Some days you feel like a machine, unstoppable, focused, motivated. Other days, even small steps feel like climbing a mountain. You don't see progress immediately, so you start questioning whether your effort is worth it. You start comparing today's results with the idealized version in your head, and when reality doesn't match, motivation dips. Days feel wasted, weeks feel wasted, and the frustration builds. And here's where it gets sneaky. Your brain starts telling stories. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I don't have the discipline. Maybe I'll start again later. It's like that friend who convinces you to skip the gym just this once, except the friend is your own inner voice, and the more you listen, the more believable it sounds. That's why so many people give up halfway, not because they're incapable, but because they mistake the natural ups and downs for failure. Think of it like driving across the country. Some stretches are smooth highways where you're flying at 80 miles an hour. Other parts, traffic, potholes, endless construction zones that test your patience. But just because you hit traffic doesn't mean the destination disappeared. Yet, in a 90-day transformation, people act like a bad week erases all the progress. Spoiler, it doesn't. Progress is often boring, invisible, and slower than your ego wants it to be. Expecting fireworks every week instead of realizing that transformation feels less like a rocket launch and more like watching grass grow. You don't notice it daily, but give it time, and suddenly the whole field looks different. You scroll online and see people your age seemingly transforming faster, earning more, learning faster, or achieving bigger results. Even when you're giving your best, your mind whispers, why aren't you like them? You're behind. You're not enough. Suddenly your journey isn't yours anymore. It's a race you can't win. Instead of celebrating small victories, you notice only what's missing. Instead of feeling progress, you feel stuck. And that mental weight slowly suffocates motivation and confidence. And the irony, half the time, those people you're comparing yourself to are struggling just as much, but you never see it. Social media doesn't show you the panic attacks, the sleepless nights, or the drafts that never got posted. It only shows you the polished 5 seconds of success. It's like comparing your behind-the-scenes footage with someone else's highlight reel. Of course it feels like you're losing, and yet your brain treats it like a scoreboard. It's kind of like running on a treadmill while staring at the guy next to you. He's sprinting, sweating, headphones in, looking like an Olympian, and there you are, nearly tripping over your shoelaces, just trying not to fall off. What you forget is, you're not even running the same race. He's on his treadmill, you're on yours. But the more you stare, the less you notice your own strides. And that's where people burn out. Not because they're incapable, but because comparison quietly rewrites the rules of their game. The goal isn't about becoming better anymore. It becomes about becoming faster than someone else. And nothing kills growth faster than playing a game you were never meant to win. Fear is the final, silent enemy that most people underestimate. It's not fear of physical danger. It's fear of failing, of looking foolish, of being judged. Even when you commit fully, fear can paralyze action at critical moments. You hesitate, procrastinate, or do the minimum instead of the full effort because the mind convinces you that comfort is safety, and every hesitation compounds. Every skipped action is like adding another brick to an invisible wall that separates you from the life you want. Months pass, and suddenly 90 days feel impossible. You feel frustrated, demoralized, and maybe even ready to give up entirely. It doesn't always scream in your face. Sometimes it shows up dressed as logic. You tell yourself, I'll wait until I'm more prepared. Or this week is too busy, I'll start fresh Monday. It's that fake sense of control that makes procrastination look reasonable. And while you're busy negotiating with yourself, time just keeps slipping. The 90 days that felt exciting on day one quietly dissolve into a cycle of hesitation and guilt. Think about it like this. Fear is like that helpful friend who insists on giving you directions but always leads you back home. You're trying to explore new ground, but every time you follow their advice, you end up in the same place you started. It feels safe, but it's the same old neighborhood, the same old patterns. Comfort disguised as safety. Fear doesn't need to stop you completely to win. It just needs to slow you down enough that momentum dies. Because once momentum is gone, everything feels heavier. That's when the walls feel taller, the goals feel further, and giving up feels reasonable. And if you've ever wondered why 90 days turn into 9 months with nothing to show for it, this is why. All these forces, scattered thoughts, hidden stress, invisible environmental pressures, unrealistic expectations, comparison, and fear collide in ways that make transformation feel almost impossible. You wake up on day one with fire in your chest and dreams in your mind, but by day 30, that fire dims. By day 60, that energy feels heavy, and by day 90, you might feel like you've barely moved at all. And the hardest part is that none of it feels obvious. You blame yourself, thinking you lack discipline or willpower, when in reality, the obstacles are hidden, psychological, and quietly persistent. It's like trying to run a marathon with ankle weights you didn't even know you were wearing. Every step feels harder than it should, and instead of questioning the weights, you start questioning yourself. You look at other people who seem to sprint effortlessly and wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I keep up? But the truth is, nothing's wrong with you. You're just carrying battles most people never talk about. The silent mental load, the quiet exhaustion, the unspoken fears that drain more energy than the actual work ever does.